I feel enormously proud because this is an organisation and it's people that have taken leadership. 11 years ago, we set out on this mission to become a carbon neutral organisation, and it was a pretty big call for the organisation at the time because very few organisations had publicly stated that ambition to actually reduce their emissions and then actually test themselves and get accredited to become a carbon neutral organisation. And there were two drivers for it at the time. We had a board that actually appreciated the importance of the organisation being a leader in this space. And we had staff who were saying, we're dealing with people each and every day who are, at one level, the victims of climate change. And as an organisation that had spent a long time, 120 years of going and supporting people who are vulnerable and experiencing disadvantage in the community, we knew that climate change wasn't some esoteric idea. It was something that was actually very real and had a very significant impact on the people that we had an obligation to try and support. Uniting Community's approach to dealing with this has been to actually establish committees where staff are able to engage with their colleagues, and we've done that across the organisation. We have 90 odd sites across South Australia, and we've set up committee structures that actually enable people to work with their colleagues to identify opportunities in their own workplaces, as well as across the organisation as a whole, to take action to reduce our carbon emissions.
Being part of the Beyond Carbon Neutral committee and being one of the reps has given me greater insight into the impact that we leave as individuals, but what a company can really, or organisation can do on a grander scale.
First and foremost, we had to examine the things that actually were contributing to our carbon emissions. And so, there were things like our waste. We looked at our electricity, which is a big driver of our emissions, and putting in LED lights in a lot of the buildings that we owned or rented. We looked at our vehicles. We had a fleet of over 100 vehicles, and we thought that one of the most practical things we could do was to make a shift as those vehicles came to the end of their life to actually move to hybrid vehicles.
Uniting Communities definitely supports us to think outside the box. So I'm really passionate about the green initiatives that we have here at Ruby's, and seeing young people adopt them easily and become a habit to them, just a part of their everyday routine. It makes me really proud to work alongside them, and then I know that they go home and do these things.
When I see any lights on during the day, I'm always around, always turning it off. And now in the last 3-4 years, I'm collecting bottles, cans, plastic bottles, all sorts of things.
So our message to other companies, whether they be social service organisations or whether they be other businesses, is that you can do this and you do it for the right reasons because you're actually saving this planet, but you're also doing it because it actually provides dividends back to you as an organisation. And when you realise that, it actually becomes a bit of a no-brainer. Why wouldn't we go down this path?
If I do my part, and my grandchildren, or my children, do their part, so we're all together trying to make a better living for our grandchildren and grandchildren again. And if we're all doing it together, make a big difference.
Over the last 6 years, we've been testing ourselves to drive down our emissions even further. We've actually reduced our emissions by 30%. Now that's a pretty significant reduction. And now we're announcing that by 2035, we'll be a net zero organisation. That is a hell of a journey over that period of time and shows our commitment to saving this planet.